Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 21 of Diehlman at Halftime, the NBA podcast that tops all others. I'm your host, Larry Diehlman. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome aboard, and if you've been a loyal listener, welcome back. We have much to get to today and not a lot of time to do it. We have 5 sections that we'll get into, a general overview of the NBA this week, and our usual highlight, lowlight, random stat, and game of the week. Let's go to our content for the week. We start off this week with an injury report. Brooklyn Nets guard Ben Simmons is being shut down for the rest of the season to explore treatment options for his lower back nerve impingement. Since the infamous Game 7 in 2021, where he passed up a wide-open dunk against Atlanta's Trae Young, who is significantly smaller, and basically ended his tenure with the Sixers, Simmons has only played in 57 games. He sat out in the 2021-22 season. He played 42 games last year and 15 this year. Simmons' stats have decreased mightily since his arrival in Brooklyn. Simmons is an unrestricted free agent after next season. Minnesota Timberwolves big man Karl-Anthony Towns will undergo surgery for a torn meniscus and will be reevaluated in a month. Reports are saying that Towns should be ready to go in the early stages of the playoffs. Meniscus injuries usually aren't short-term, so we'll see how this affects the red-hot Timberwolves. Finally, Oklahoma City Thunder big man Bismack Biyombo collapsed in the Thunder's game in Portland on Wednesday. In the first quarter, during a timeout, Biyombo fell over into some of his teammates. Many on social media were wondering what happened. Head coach Mark Daigneault said Biyombo just fainted and was fine. Thankfully, he walked on his own power to the locker room and was cleared of any major issues by the Trailblazers medical staff. Biyombo didn't play in that game, but we're glad it seems like he's okay. This episode is entitled Waiting for the Sun. So, who's raising eyebrows at the moment? Let's go to our highlight, the Orlando Magic. With the end of the regular season approaching fast, the Orlando Magic are about to be back in the playoffs. The Magic are 37-28 and 5th in the Eastern Conference. They haven't made the playoffs since the 2019-20 bubble season, but the young core they possess is looking to do some magic. Orlando is led by 2022 first overall pick Paolo Banchero. Banchero, a first-time All-Star this season, is averaging about 23 points, almost 7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game. Their big man Franz Wagner can put up about 20.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, and almost 4 assists per night. The Magic also have players like Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, and Wendell Carter Jr. If they keep winning, Orlando should be able to stay clear of the play-in tournament. They are 1 game ahead of the Pacers for the 7th seed. But no matter what, Orlando could be a team to watch out for in the East. With a home record of 21-9, they are one of 3 Eastern teams to have less than 10 home losses and one of 7 across the entire league. We'll have to see how their regular season success translates into late April. Their next game is on Wednesday, March 13th at 7 o'clock. They will host the Brooklyn Nets. Let's go to our low light, the Philadelphia 76ers. Time might be running out for the Philadelphia 76ers to make noise. The Sixers are 36-28 and 6th in the East. Usually Philadelphia is in the top 3 or 4 seeds in the conference. However, the injury bug has been killing them lately. Joel Embiid has been out for about a month with a meniscus injury. Tyrese Maxey just cleared concussion protocol. DeAnthony Melton has dealt with a back issue. That's 60% of the starting lineup right there. Heck, Embiid and Maxey were averaging 61.3 points per game by themselves. And with the way the Sixers have been losing, there's a real chance of them being a play-in tournament team. One of the many frustrating things about Philadelphia over the years is the inconsistencies of Tobias Harris. For a guy who was paid a max contract in 2019, he certainly doesn't live up to that hype. He's a role player at best. Harris is an unrestricted free agent after this season, so that's a hole the front office will have to figure out. Head coach Nick Nurse has a tough task ahead of him if Philadelphia is going to perform miracles at playoff time. Their next game is on Tuesday, March 12th at 7:30. They will take on the New York Knicks once again at Madison Square Garden. Let's head over to our random stat. In recent years, NBA fans have complained that the league's biggest stars decline to be in the dunk contest at All-Star Weekend. Enter Zion Williamson. The New Orleans Pelicans star made a statement on Tuesday that got people's attention. When asked if he'd enter the dunk contest in the future, Williamson said, quote, "I've got to do my part and make the All-Star game. If I'm in the All-Star game, I'll do the dunk contest. If I'm not doing it." Williamson is a two-time All-Star in 2021 and 23, but he wasn't named one this season. Fans were happy to see someone like Jaylen Brown participate in the event a few weeks ago, even though he was going up against G-Leaguers and bench players. Now fans don't want Brown to do the contest ever again because he stunk it up so bad. Throughout college and the NBA, Williamson has proven to be one of the best dunkers we have. I'm not saying he's on Vince Carter or Dominique Wilkins' level. However, he did pull off a half-court alley-oop against Toronto on Tuesday, right before he made his dunk contest statement. Besides his natural talent, maybe Williamson's promise will give fans and media more incentive to vote him in. Finally, let's go to Game of the Week. For this week's Game of the Week, let's do the Minnesota Timberwolves at LA Clippers. This game is on Tuesday, March 12th at 10 o'clock. Despite Karl Anthony Towns being out for a few weeks, as we discussed in the opener, this should still be a good game. For Minnesota, Anthony Edwards is showing us his case for why he could take the eventual title of Face of the League, and Rudy Gobert can still lock down offensive threats that enter the paint. For LA, the trio of Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden is a nasty trio that'll give any team nightmares. The Clippers are currently missing Russell Westbrook due to a fractured hand. On the coaching front, this will be Tyronn Lue versus Chris Finch. The Timberwolves and Clippers are just 2 games apart in the standings, so these kind of games are the ones each of these teams want to win. I'll go with the Clippers, 115-105. Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on social media. I have 2 Twitter accounts and 2 Instagram accounts. The podcast accounts are under @Diehlman_NBA for both Twitter and Instagram. My personal Twitter is @LarryDiehlman18, and my personal Instagram is @Mr_Sports18. They are also in the description on SoundCloud. And don't forget to spread the word about Diehlman at halftime. See you next time, fellow Hoops fans.